there's a lot of companies whose strategy is Fortune 500 companies. That's who we want to sign up for. And, there's other companies who are like, we just want like individual users. Those two have completely different strategies and ways to measure the effectiveness of what you're doing. And you need to figure that out and then align content and everything else towards that.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, I developers at Fortune 500 companies are like the golden goose for everybody. Everyone trying to like sell new products or whatever, and it's super hard to reach them. They're expensive.
It is.
They're inundated with everybody trying to get their attention. But yeah, but I get it. It makes sense. I get why those are the big whales you want to go after.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have to be very careful of that and kind of balance it with other prospects.
Yeah, and I think that one of the big, interesting things is, as you start to explore, any one of those, you risk alienating the others, and that could be okay.
Yeah, that's true. Interesting. Yeah, I totally agree.
Right?
Yeah, it just depends. It depends. Yeah, I totally agree. I know when I was at MongoDB, I've always felt like I had to walk this like fine line because like we wanted to like show like MongoDB. I think people's perception of it was like it's not for banks or governments, and we tried to like show like we are enterprisey and we're less just like a fun point for a developer, but we also still wanted to court our existing like indie developers working on startups or just hacking at home. And that's it. I mean, it's a fine line. You're like talking to two different audiences, and sometimes if you have a team that's big enough, you can like divide and conquer and start talking to both those audiences all at once. But if you're like a solo DevRel content developer at a company, like you may not have the bandwidth to do that, and you kind of have to pick.
Yeah, I think you focus on what matters the most to the company, where your target is. If you're gonna like focus on banking, for instance, especially in the database space, there are certain things from a compliance perspective, a security perspective, that are very like specific to those sort of customers, which may not matter as much to your websites or, gaming companies or fill in the blank companies. And so I think it's just making sure that you're aligned to that.
Yeah, I totally agree. And for me, that goes back to my point about like, if you're in DevRel or you're a new company or like you're nervous about your role in DevRel, like I think it's more important than ever to make sure that you're aligning with what the business cares about, and like talking to that audience and like making adjustments if you need to.
Yeah.